ladies and gentlemen, well, welcome and thank you for coming tonight. My name is Eric Einhaus. I've been a student for Mr. Toth for 3 years and a student for Ms. Skimmons for 1 year. And today I'm introducing you to Cape Canal Boat Tours. I am the architect of this project proposal. So for this project, I'm proposing a boat tour business that runs through the Cape May Canal. And it will be a seasonal operation that will be around, let's say, May to early November. And it will attract locals and tourists combined. So the plan is to show the historical and economic significance of Cape May Canal, which I'll explain later, and to create a new attraction that will vitalize the economy of Cape May, which heavily relies on tourism and even the locals. So let me explain what the Cape May Canal is. For those who don't know, it is a 3-mile long, 100 feet wide man-made waterway that connects the Delaware Bay, which is to the west, and the Atlantic Ocean to the east. What is significant today because it provides recreational business for boat traffic. It's easier and quicker than going going around the actual island itself. Plus, you don't have to deal with any rocky waves and stuff like that. And it separates the Cape May Island, which is majority of tourists stay, to up north, which is where the majority of locals stay. So I'll give you a brief history of Cape May Canal. Canal building started around 1825 with the construction of the Erie Canal, and the construction of the Erie Canal basically vitalized the idea that maybe a canal in Cape May could also work, starting in the 1840s. And that proposal didn't really get revitalized until 1935 when the Great Depression hit, and FDR's New Deal program allowed, and the Public Works Administration allowed new infrastructure to the American society. And this proposal not only provides vessels to avoid the strong tides of the Atlantic Ocean and going around the Cape May Island, it will also provide jobs for actually building the canal itself and revitalize the American economy, which they really needed at the time. So this actual building of canal didn't start till after World War I, when a scare of German U-boats in 1942 scared the American society. A total of $1.1 million in their time, not regarding inflation, for the canal. It pretty much represented a wartime emergency because of the scare of German U-boats. It also served as protection for there was a newly built naval base, which is currently now the Cape May Coast Guard base, which is located in Cape May Island. And the construction of the canal ended in 1943, which started the tourism in Cape May. And the completion of the Cape May Lewis Ferry also sparked a new era of tourism in Cape May. In addition, other attractions include maybe birds watching, for example, like when flocks of birds can be seen from the Cape May Canal and around this area. And also the bridge and canal construction. If you're into architecture, you can see how the bridges, as this one right here, the West Cape May Bridge, is built, and also the canal itself. And if you're not into one of those two, maybe for common tourists, it'll be a way to enjoy the fresh air in the Cape May Canal and the Cape May weather. So the tours itself, I envision a pontoon boat right here, which seats about roughly 30 people, and roughly $30 for adults and $15 for children for the ticket price. And the tours itself, it will start at the site, which is the next slide, which is located around right here. It will go through the west side and head west and stop at the bay and go back into the canal, where the tour guide will explain, like, for example, the history and like the architecture that's involved in the canal. And it'll end at the site, and that'll pretty much be what the tour will kind of be about. So, national tours, these are two examples of what these tour boats will be like. This one is Chicago, Illinois, as seen right here. The people on the boat can see the architecture and on the buildings that Chicago offers. It's good for sightseeing, and it's a popular tourist attraction there. And this one in San Antonio, Texas, which I've been on, it's called the Riverwalk. You go around the San Antonio, and you see like the sights and the sightseeing there. And fun fact, it was over 100 degrees when I went there too. It was, you need a lot of water. Trust me. And local, there are two like major tour boats that are around here in Wildwoods. Both of these, the Silver Bullet and the Thundercat, they're primarily used for dolphin watching, and they are used for their path is in the Atlantic Ocean. Mine's slightly different because it operates mainly on the Cape May Canal. So here's the site I was talking about. For those who are around here, this is the South of Canal, like in West Cape May. It is between like Higsby's Beach and the West Cape May Bridge. That's the best I can describe it. It is located on Bayshore Road right here in Lower Township. And this is where the tours will begin and end. There'll be a dock that is built on the canal itself. The cost of the site is $399,000. And on the site itself, there will be a ticket counter and gift shop. There'll be a parking lot paved, restrooms, benches, tables, a recreational area, and obviously the dock for the boat and the pontoon boat, which you saw earlier. So these upcoming pictures is actual pictures I took back in the fall, and as you see, this is a view that when you're looking west towards the Delaware Bay, and basically we get out of this, it's a good site because you can see the ferry operate right around here, and yeah, basically it's a good you just get a good idea of where the site is and like the sightseeing when that's applied to it. So same thing. These are more pictures I took, but instead you're just looking eastward. See it? And on these pictures you can see this is called a barrage, which is pretty much rocks and stuff that are that's like around here. These are used to help like with like flooding and like control flooding. It's naturally not naturally made, but like is made so that pretty much like control the tide in the canal. And what you get out of this is pretty much the site itself right now. There's trees and there's a lot of landscaping that has to be done. So before any building can be done, there's a couple things that I need to do. Landscaping, as I said, it has lots of trees, has lots of shrubbery that needs to be cleared away. Permission to build a dock from the township that connects the site to the canal, and also a zoning requirement of what Lower Township calls general business, which I'll cover next slide. So here's a zoning map that Lower Township provides on their website. It's currently in a residential zoning, and however there is a way that you can make it for general business use, as Lower Township holds zoning meetings on the first Tuesday of every month, and to require for consideration, you need the site plans, the maps, the fees, a signature from a tax collector, and most importantly, a convincing argument on why the plans will benefit community, and that is to revitalize the economic history and historical, so that it's the Cape May Canal, and itself, the project will revitalize the Cape May tourism and the economy of Cape May. So what you're looking at here are my floor plans. So basically, like, I'm gonna basically like run through like as like an average consumer or client. So you go through, you park in the parking lot. You go through the pathways. You go in this building right here where there's a lobby and a comfort area right here where you can sit down. There's couches and stuff. Over here is a gift shop area where there's another source of revenue where we can establish. To get your ticket itself, there's going to be 2 counters, which you'll see in the renderings. And out right here is the office where employees pretty much work. 2 emergency exits, and a third front door for the exits, and a break room right here is where employees can have their lunch or what have you. Elevations, pretty self-explanatory. As you see the building and the roof that I planned, you can see the dock. Pretty much. Elevations pretty much as you're looking north and when you're looking south. So. Now here's some renderings where you get a better sense of what the project is. As you see, this is pretty much a whole area. It's a pretty small lot, but you can see the recreational area right here. This is where, like, before, after the boat trips, people can hang out and enjoy the nice weather. As you see a nice view of the parking lot, you can see the parking lot, the handicap spots that are near the entrance for ADA laws. As you see the dock, once again, applying ADA laws, they have the 1:12 ratio, which means there's 1 unit of rising per 12 units of running. I'll explain more in the next slide. As you see in the background, there's the pontoon boat, which will be positioned right there. Now this is a sample boat of like what, and this pretty much says it's not going to be the actual size of the pontoon boat that I predict that I planned. It's just to demonstrate like where it's going to be positioned for the renderings. It's going to be bigger than that. It's going to be like the boat that I want to plan is will fit around 30 people. So this is when you first walk in the door. As you see the recreational area right here to the right, and as you go through the gift shop area where clothes will be hung, and these 2 counters right here is where you'll buy your ticket. Pretty much. This is the office area where employees hang out. As you see, there's 2 computers for their convenience, 2 printers where they can print the tickets out, and right here is the break room where there'll be a window over here where they can have their lunch. Bathrooms, pretty self-explanatory. There's more than enough stalls than was required by code, and I just consider because like usually the bathrooms will be used at like certain times. Like for example, when people first get out of the tour, they'll be all rushing to the bathroom. It's just a convenient way to make it. And right here is showing a handicap stall with handlebars and the right height for the toilet that following ADA laws. So to start this business, what you need is a water tour license, business license, permission from the township to build the dock on the canal itself, boat insurance, a federal tax ID, business name registration, which is pretty much avoiding copyright, a seller's permit. This is for selling the tickets and refreshments, and a certain requirement of general business by the township. Other possible predicaments for consideration, as I mentioned earlier, the landscaping, the zoning, and the permits. The parking lot, like during busy days, can get like pretty full.